Uh-oh, did Omid Scobie just accidentally reveal the royal racist? Welcome to Popcorn Palace. We're actually live on Popcorn Planet right now, but I had to tape this special report for all our royal viewers. You're all probably watching already over here on Popcorn Planet because we've been talking in detail about Omid's book with Steph, who read it last night. If you missed her full-on read-through, go on over there and support it. But we've been going in much more depth about the lies in this book. So go check out today's live stream over there. It'll be on Popcorn Planet. But as we're taping, this happened, and we got to react to it. And I thought, let me at least clip this so the people who missed the live don't miss this portion because this is going to be on the replay. This feels too big to not talk about tonight, and we're going to talk about it even more in depth tomorrow with Black Belt Barrister's going to break down, well, how is this legal? I thought he couldn't reveal this. But Steph, here's what's happening, all right? So apparently there is a Dutch version of the book. And in the Dutch version of the book, and I have the picture here, I'm downloading it. Sorry, I'm getting it as we're live because it's all happening in real time. The Dutch version of the book apparently reveals it, all right? So I have the Dutch passage right here, and in this translation, you can see the name, Charles, but all of it, the rest of it is in Dutch. Now, this is directly from the page from his Dutch version of the book. However, when translated, which we have here, the translation, during their conversation with Oprah, both Harry and Meghan declined to say who was present at that conversation. A representative for the couple only wanted to say that it was not the Queen or Prince Philip. I think that will be very damaging to them, Meghan said. But in those private letters, an identity was revealed and confirmed. Charles, the king, sources say, wanted to respond to make clear to Meghan that there was no ill will or bias when he spoke about his future grandson. He wanted to clarify something he felt was very important, says a royal insider. Now, this is what's translated from the Dutch version of the book, which then you'd think he would be responsible for. So this is what's coming in now. So now Omid has responded. We have it right here. Hold on. Just making sure I get all I have a lot of links up. I just lost. Where did the link go? I just had it here. Here we go. Now, he is denying responsibility for naming of racist. Translation of his book appeared to reveal the racist. Royal author has responded after claims of translation in his new book named the senior royal as racist. During the Sussex interview, blah, blah, blah. How the question was how dark their son would be. They accused the unnamed senior royal of expressing concern about their child's complexion in that Oprah interview. In the book, he reveals that there were two royals who made the derogatory remarks this week, but UK law prevented him from revealing the names. But a review copy of the book sent to Dutch journalists appears to plainly state the identity of the royal who allegedly made them. He has since come out and said he wasn't responsible for the apparent blunder. Speaking to Dutch chat show RTL Boulevard today, he said, the book is in several languages, and unfortunately, I do not speak Dutch. But if there are translation errors, I'm sure the publishers will have it under control. I wrote and edited the English version. There's never been no version that I've produced that has names in it. It's not yet known how the name ended up included in the translation. Mr. Scobie says in interviews in UK prevented him, referring to the letters, the Dutch version of the book reads, but in those private letters, the identity was confirmed. So now, Steph, in the version of the book, can you look up this version of the book? You have the Kindle, I guess, there.
Yeah.
As we're looking at this version of the, I guess, is here. It's like 128. I wonder, do you know which section is this? Does this read similar? Is there mention of Charles at all in this section of, the Oprah, they declined to say who was in that conversation? If there's a way for you to find that section, I'm curious, could this just be a translation error? Or what I suspect is Steph's looking for that. What I suspect happened, whether he's going to admit it or not. And we know Scobie's not a credible person. He's lied about his age. He's lied about taking private jets. He's lied about his relationship to Meghan. He's lied. So there's nothing I believe this man can ever say that I'll trust. However, is this a translation error, or is this a sneaky way for them to announce this without actually doing it? Because I don't think his book's doing as well as he wants it to. And I wouldn't be surprised if he did attempt to name this royal racist to sell more books and get more attention. And to name King Charles as the racist would definitely do that. It would cause a lot of problems and controversy and anger, but probably also get him book attention, which is all this guy seems to want. However, legally, is he allowed to? We're going to find out tomorrow with Black Belt Barrister as we get into this more. But Steph, I'm curious, do you think this could be a translation based on what you're looking at in your copy of the ebook? Or do you think he did write a version and he's lying? He did write a version that had it, and maybe the editors removed it. And then there was a later version that didn't have it, and somehow that got there, and they were like, nah, let's let it slide. What are your thoughts here?
Calling it a translation error is like Jada Pinkett Smith calling her affair an entanglement. Let me read you the actual part, the English version, right? Okay. I'm going to quote this paragraph. So it's on page 109 on the Kindle version anyway. And he says, I'm
going to put up the Dutch translation while you're saying it. Okay, Steph, here we go.
Yeah. Okay. So after the Oprah interview, so all that was happening at that point. Letters addressing Meghan's concern about unconscious racial bias in the royal family in the wake of the Oprah interview was sent at that point. So let's get to the paragraph in question, the English version. Charles had initially reached out to his daughter-in-law in spring 2021 to express his sadness over the huge distance between the two parties and his disappointment that the couple chose to go so public with their words. But what had upset him the most was Meghan's disclosure that several conversations were had in the family away from herself and Harry that featured concerns over what colour their unborn son Archie's skin might be and what that would mean or look like for the firm. When speaking with Oprah, both Harry and Meghan chose to refrain from sharing who was involved in this exchange. A representative for the couple would only go on to clarify that it was not the Queen nor Prince Philip. I think that would be very damaging to them, Meghan said. But in the pages of these private letters, two identities were revealed. Laws in the United Kingdom prevent me from reporting who they were. So
that was it. So there's nothing about Charles or this quote. He wanted to clarify something he felt was very important. None of that's in there.
The only thing about King Charles in there is him saying that King Charles had initially reached out to Megxie in the spring of 2021 to express his sadness of the huge distance between them and the disappointment that they chose to go public with the words that they said on the Oprah Winfrey interview. So all this, in terms of the exchange between King Charles and Megxie, happened after the Oprah interview. There is nothing in there that says, oh, by the way, one of the royal racists, because he's saying there's two here, one of them was King Charles. Instead, at the end, he says, laws in the UK prevent me from reporting who they were. This is not a translation error, guys. It can't be. It cannot be. Now, when you write a book, right, you can imagine the first draft ain't going to be what you release. You go through different iterations until you get it released. Now, I truly believe, in terms of what's happened here, that initially he named them in the book. This is what I believe. This is conspiracy theory, whatever, okay? Total speculation. That he named in the book who the royal racists were. When it then went through legal, they turned around and said, no, you can't do it.
Agreed.
And so, yeah. And so then had to edit them out. Because he puts at the end, laws in the UK prevent me from reporting who they were. Best believe if he could name them legally, he would do in that book.
100%. 100%.
100%. He'd name them.
And we'll talk to Black Belt about those laws and but here's where I'm hung up, because there's two things that do make me still question this. So I want to be careful in our reporting, because we've got to be careful. One is, it's very clear there's two. We've always heard that before and whatever in other places. So it's weird that this translation only has one. So it could be fake. We'll see. But it seems to actually be in the actual book. Maybe that's a fake book. I don't know. That's a pretty big scam. But where I'm confused is now he's come on the record and said, he says here, I wrote and edited the English version. There's never been no version that I've produced that has the names in it. So again, this is a weird translation here. Maybe again, bad Dutch translation. We have to figure this out. I'm going to we'll sort out this example and get it all covered to you tomorrow. It's literally just breaking. I'm going to see, let's see if we can find this Dutch show. But this is a weird translation. And if this is true, if he really said this, he's, this is going to F him so much bigger, because you'd think this is easy to prove, right? The publisher, somebody, especially with your laws out there, they're going to be able to figure out, was there ever a version of this that he wrote? And then he's once again going to have to apologize and correct himself like they've done before. So of course that's what I suspect will actually happen. But if he really is doing this, then yeah, it is just goes to show you how evil, manipulative, and I would say was always part of the plan. When he found out he couldn't legally do it, he figured out some other way to do it. Well, let's put it in one of these translations. Oops. It'll only help the book, right, publisher? Now, who's on the hook for this if this is in fact true? Is he going to get, is this actually put him in legal jeopardy? I'm fascinated by this, and we'll see. Because again, here's a page from the actual book, apparently, allegedly, right? So, in Dutch.
I mean, look, Charles had in het Vuja van 2021 contact. Charles had initially reached out to his daughter-in-law in spring 2021. I've pronounced it as best as possible, but I don't speak or understand Dutch. But when you look at it linguistically and you see the first word in each paragraph is Charles.
And then
you've got
colon Charles
in both sentences right at the beginning, right? To me, yeah, this to me is like, I'm thinking it's right. I mean, at the end, il denk dat eg shadajik vo hen zal jin, right? Ze Meghan. He's literally quoting in Dutch what Meghan is saying in the second to last sentence. I think that would be very damaging to them. Meghan said. You don't have to understand.
So the page matches pretty well.
That linguistically, you look at Meghan's quoted in the second to last sentence here in the paragraph, as she is done in the second to last paragraph in the English version. To me, I think this is completely 100% legit.
Can you take a screenshot of that and telegram it to me so we can just have it on here so people can actually see it before I clip this? Because I do think that's important just to compare this for people to have it.
The other thing as well, whilst I'm doing that, is I might be a little bit frozen for 1 second as I'm snipping this guy, so do bear with me.
I'm also going to put a poll out. Do you believe this was an error? Do you think this is a lie? Or do you think this was purposeful? I'm going to ask you.
Now, the other thing as well, whilst Andy's doing that, is this. What Omid Scobie is saying in his rebuttal to this makes no damn sense. Why do I say that? So he's turning around and he's saying it was a, what was it again? A translation error, was it, Andy, that he said?
Yes.
Right. He says it's a translation error. In the same breath, he's turning around and he's saying, guys, there is no version of Endgame where I named, quote, the racist royal.
Correct.
Hang on a minute. How can you translate something then that was never there in the first place?
Good question.
Told you I'm good at this, guys.
Well, that's what this quote feels off. I need to hear him. I wrote and edited the English version. There's never been, and edited the English version. There's never been no version that I've produced that has names in it.
Let me see if he's spoken out on Twitter. He usually likes to
He did, and
out.
I already looked there. If somebody knows how to get this clip of this Dutch show, please, by all means, reach out or email us tonight, because I'm going to look for that. I'm trying to find it, and it's all still breaking, so we don't have it. But I'm imagining later we'll be there. But yeah, it's happening. It's been pulled from Dutch shelves.
Yeah.
So this is not like
So
some
this
fake
is real,
thing.
guys.
Jesus.
It's
God.
real. You compare you do a linguistic analysis between the English translation and the Dutch translation. The similarities are there, that it's clear to see. You see that Omid Scobie has spoken out. He won't speak out against it if if the screenshot was fake,
this
right?
is insane.
And now
Look at
you've
it. I mean,
got
yeah.
reports that it's being pulled from Dutch shelves. Yeah,
This is
real.
important because look, this is the publisher now, and we're reacting to this real time, guys. Again, I told you, subscribe over to Palace and Planet. We're gonna have more to tell you tomorrow. But the publisher saying we are temporarily withdrawing the book by Omid Scobie from sale. An error. They're calling it just an error occurred in the Dutch translation and is currently being rectified. Yeah, they sent them the wrong book. Now it'll be interesting because Xander, this publisher, they're not going to just cover for him. Like there's going to now be, I imagine, inquiries to figure out what the hell happened. Now, granted, the rules in Dutch are different than in England, so it didn't happen in England. It happened for the Dutch audience. But this is wild. He told Dutch media he did not mention a name in his new book. He told the chat show RTL Boulevard, the book is in several languages, and unfortunately I do not speak Dutch. But if there are translation errors, the publisher will correct them. I wrote the English version. There was no version from me in which names were mentioned. So that's the official quote here. That's better.
Again, my question still stands. You're saying that there's translation errors. How can you translate something that was never there in the first place?
Well, he's seeing that this book's here. I mean, I could see it because, hello, where'd this come from?
Why? But the thing is, how did you say that? Fine, but then my next question is, well, how did the Dutch publisher, let's say, and I'm saying this umbrella, whoever it was, right? How did they, in the Dutch transcript, think of naming Charles as, quote, the raw racist?
Yeah, it's sort of a crazy big risky legal jump.
Right?
Yeah.
Where?
So here's the book too. She's right. Just so you guys all have this, because I want to clip this and then we'll talk more over here on Planet, but I want to make sure it up. So here's the page, and then here's the ebook version, which it's Charles had sorry, I don't speak Dutch. Van 2001. Charles initially reached out to his daughter in 2001. It does. Yeah.
Then you look at the second to last paragraph, the quote in Meghan. And the second to last paragraph here,
I think that would be very damaging than Meghan said. Yeah, wow.
Linguistically, no, this to me, real. And Omid Scobie's reaction to it and the publisher's reaction to it, pulling it off the shelves, 100% confirms that I'm right.
Now imagine if this is someone faking it and now it's just fake news, but then people are going to believe it no matter what. I mean, this is so manipulative and evil because, Steph, even if this was fake, it's too ingrained into the book. You know what I mean? Like, this is no accident. Someone intentionally put that in there, right? Whether this was to make Scobie look bad or to do it sneakily or they just published the wrong error. There is absolutely a culprit here who did something that wasn't supposed to be done, right? Or they fucked up and released the wrong book. This is a doozy. So this book just got far more interesting because I'm curious how he'll be held responsible. Will he be legally? We will find out with Black Belt Barrister tomorrow, and we'll give you an update tomorrow. So if you haven't already, do us a favor on all three channels here, Popcorn Planet, Steph the Alternate, and Palace. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, smash that like button, and leave your comments. What do you think? And the poll has come in, just so we can do it before I clip this. I asked, fake, 24%, real but an accident, 9%, real and totally done on purpose, 67% of you believe that this is real and done on purpose. Yikes. We got lots more to say about this. We're going to wrap up our live. Make sure, subscribe to Steph the Alternate. There she is. She's got more coming. We got a lot to break down in Endgame and so much more. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for more. Our live viewers, don't go anywhere. If you missed the live show, head on over to Popcorn Planet and catch our full breakdown. You do need to become a member to watch the full show, but it was worth it. It's a doozy, man. We learned a lot about Omid Scobie's infamous lick I can't laugh and not say Mr. Lick Spittle himself. Oh man, you're about to get some serious lick spittle now, brother. Whoo! You deserve it.